Hi, thanks so much for joining me today on Soap Queen TV. I'm Anne-Marie from Brambleberry.com and SoapQueen.com. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do a kid-friendly summertime project, making bath fizzies. These little guys totally explode in your tub, making tub time fun for everyone. In addition to showing you how to make bath fizzies out of these, I'm going to show you how to make these Mondo bath bombs. You ready to get started? All right, let's go. A basic bath fizzy includes citric acid, baking soda, fragrance or essential oil, witch hazel, and some sort of colorant. The combination of the baking soda and citric acid makes amazing fizz. Check out this bath fizzy in a little bit of water. Wow, isn't that some insane fizzing? That's right, it's an explosion in your tub. Now, contrary to what you may think, citric acid is not an acid. It's actually used as a food preservative or to lower the pH in some of your favorite soft drinks. Now, you're probably familiar with baking soda or sodium bicarbonate because you cook with it. It's also used as a cleaning agent and a skin softener. Now I know why my grandma used to put a little bit of baking soda into the bathtub when I was a little girl. It's also used for diaper rash, bug bites, in toothpaste, and deodorant. Witch hazel is the all-natural astringent that we use to bind this entire thing together. Rather than using water, which sets off the fizzing reaction early, we use witch hazel. And then we come to the fun ingredients, the fragrance oil or essential oil, and the colorant. With the colorant, always be sure to choose either a water-soluble mica or a LaBomb colorant. These are special colorants made by Brambleberry.com that contain no water, so they won't set off the fizzing reaction in your bath fizzy early. You can use any fragrance oil or essential oil that you want, as long as it's skin safe. For this project, I'm using coconut citrus sorbet. Now that you know the basic recipe, let's get started. In a large bowl, add 1 cup of citric acid, 2 cups of baking soda. Now mix this together well. We don't want any clumps at all. What happens if we have clumps? Check this out. See that little wart? Now, it's not that big of a deal, but we don't want it there. Not mixing properly causes warts. This recipe makes exactly 8 SoapyLove Stacked Stars. If you don't want to make that many, just remember the 1-to-2 ratio. 1 part citric acid to 2 parts baking soda. Once you've broken up all the clumps with your hands, it's time to add the fragrance oil. Now, I use a lot of fragrance oil because I want my bathtub, which is huge, to actually smell like something. In this case, coconut citrus sorbet. For the fragrance oil in this recipe, I'm using 18 milliliters or 6 dropperfuls. Now that all the fragrance is in, it's time to mix. I'm going to use a whisk. My hands can sometimes get a little tired when I mix only by hand. If you want to be extra sure that you get the most smooth bath bombs that you possibly can, use a sifter. You can see there's definitely some clumps in there. So just use your whisk and work those clumps through the sifter. There you go. I'm going to separate this into 3 different bowls, and I'm just eyeballing it till I have about equal amounts. For the red, I'm using Adobe Brick LaBomb color and Gurlie pink in equal parts. Just around 4 drops of each. Mixing this in with a whisk. Now that the whisk has broken up some of the big clumps, I'm getting my hands in there. Here we go. Now, if you want to use more colorant, be my guest. Just remember, more colorant equals more chances that your bath water will turn the same color as your bath fizzy. Now that my fragrance and my color is mixed in, it's time to do the squeeze test and see what the consistency is like. If everything holds together pretty nicely, you know it's going to hold together in your bath fizzy mold. If it starts to crumble, not so good, and it needs a little bit of witch hazel to help bind everything together. The amount of witch hazel you use depends on the area that you live in. For example, if you live in Florida and it's really humid there, you may not need to use barely any witch hazel. But if you live in someplace really arid and dry like Nevada, well, you may have to use a lot more witch hazel than I'm using here in Washington State. Now this is the fun part. These SoapyLove Stacked Stars are perfect. You can just toss a little bit of red in, toss a little bit of blue in, toss a little bit of white in, press down, and you're done. They're gonna look great no matter what order you put them in, no matter how you put them in, anything. That's why this is such a great project for kids. Once you've got this mostly filled up, press down with your fingers, press into the corner of those stars. That's right, get all the way out to the tippy ends of those stars. Press down with the palm of your hand. If your mold isn't fully filled up, what happens when you try and pop this out? The Bath Fizzy will crack. So fill it all the way flush to the back. Once you've got your mold fully filled up and ready to go, just set them aside for 5 to 10 minutes. Now that the Bath Fizzies have been sitting for 5 to 10 minutes, it's time to unmold. Now cover the 2 cavities that are closest to you and flip outwards. We're trying to hold those 2 cavities in. There you go. Now, gently tap, tap, tap on the back of the mold. Your mold should easily release the Bath Fizzy. Oops, that one released. That's great. Now, tap, tap, tap on the other ones so we can get all of these out. Here's all 4 of them out. Did you see how quick and easy that was? Yippee! Now I'm going to show you how to work with something a little bit more advanced. And while we're working on our more advanced project, let these stacked stars sit and dry for a little bit. I'd say at least 4 to 8 hours before you really try and move them or package them in any way. As promised, I'm going to show you how to use Brambleberry's stainless steel Mondo Bath Bomb mold. This recipe uses the exact same ingredients as the last one, except with one important addition. Kaolin Clay. The use of Kaolin Clay adds to the structural integrity of this recipe, making it able to withstand the weight of this top and the bottom so the whole thing doesn't just go. I've mixed all my ingredients together in this bowl. I'm using Lilac, LaBomb, and Lavender Essential Oil. Brambleberry's Hungarian Lavender Essential Oil is the best-selling essential oil, and it smells so amazing. Let's check the consistency of this. Now this looks pretty good, but when you're using the Mondo stainless steel Bath Fizzy molds, you want the consistency to be more wet. Just take both sides of your stainless steel Mondo Bath Fizzy mold, pack a little bit in on each side, just pack it, and then press together as hard as you can. All right, now take the top off, set this aside to harden for 5 to 10 minutes. Now that these have been sitting for 5 or 10 minutes, it's time to unmold the bottom half. Now, if you're looking at me and you're thinking there's no way this is gonna work, don't worry, I have a solution for you. If your 2 halves don't stay together, I have an awesome Bath Fizzy frosting recipe at soapqueen.com that you can use to just, hey, frost the 2 sides back together. It's the moment of truth. These have been sitting for 10 minutes. Gently pick this up, tap, 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 and then gently start to turn, pull it off. Should come off easily and with very little effort. 1 down, 2 more to go. I love this Mondo Bath Fizzy. It is so rock solid. Now, if you want to have a little bit of fun with this and you're feeling confident, just put in colors in layers. Follow the instructions for the regular stainless steel Mondo Bath Fizzy mold, let it sit for 10 minutes, unmold, and check out the awesome Bath Fizzy tiger stripes. Nifty, huh? Let your Bath Fizzies sit for 4 to 8 hours before packaging them. Packaging your Bath Fizzies is super simple. Whatever you use, make sure it's fairly airtight because remember, any moisture in the air will cause your Bath Fizzy to fizz prematurely. Here I'm just using a little bit of cellophane with a cellophane bag and easy ribbons. Use your scissors to make the curlicues on the ribbons and you're done. Perfect party favor, perfect thing to sell, super easy to make with the kids, and a great 4th of July project. Thanks so much for joining me today on Soap Queen TV. Until next time, happy soaping. As promised, I'm going to show you how to use Brambleberry's Mondo stainless steel Bath Fizzy molds. Awesome. Don't do that.
You can